Hey guys, Waffles here, and we're going to be doing a live battle today. We're going to be playing against my friend Marte Ultor. He's a dude from Brazil, I believe. Speaks very good English from what I know. And he's got a glitch on his grass. I'm not sure what that means. But okay. So I'll show you guys how I set up my armies really quickly. I have 4 Pavese crossbows in the front on loose formation and guard mode. I have my pikemen. In this case I'm not going to put them on guard mode or spear wall. I'm just going to let them be. I'm going to put my 6 heavy infantry. Amongst them, with 2 ranks in front of them, and yeah. Next we're gonna get our cavalry and line them up like so. I guess he's having some video card errors, maybe. And lastly, I'm gonna group up my infantry. So it looks like he's good to go for playing. So my strategy here is try to kill off some of his crossbows if I can with my cavalry. Although I'll probably just skirmish up ahead with these guys. They all have armor upgrades. They might be able to take on those Aventuriers that he has. Maybe. So I have 4 chivalric knights, actually 3 chivalric knights, and I have Norman knights because they're a little bit faster. These are basically conquistadors cavalry. And I have some sword and buckler men. I have some dismounted Norman knights, which are basically feudal knights, and a bunch of upgraded pike militia. Alright dude, anytime now. Anytime now, please. Alright, so let's see what he has. He has, I think, mostly like a rush army. He does have some spearmen, some archers, some Scots Guard. He has Knights Templar. These guys look amazing. I really like how Knights Templars look. And they're originally from France anyway, so... He has some General's Bodyguard, late period. And some mounted sergeants. Okay, so we're gonna select all units and we're gonna drag and drop. There's small lines, graphical lines on the map, if you're looking at them. If you can see right now, my army would be tilted if I deploy them that way. So I'm gonna advance all my troops forward, and we're just gonna shoot at his army. He's bringing up his Scots Guard. Looks like he has 4 units of Scots Guard. He really should have gotten more dismounted feudal knights instead of armored sergeants. So I'm in range of his Scots Guards. I'm gonna start shooting them. It looks like they're getting some nice shots on my Pavi's crossbowmen. But they're not really taking any casualties. These guys, however, have taken a few casualties. They lost a few men. And now the back ranks of the armored sergeants are getting hit by arrows. So that's why you want to leave a gap in between your skirmishing line, your cavalry line, your infantry line. You want to have some space so that the arrows that are traveling through, or the bolts traveling through, have some space to fall down to the ground. And we're totally shredding apart his Scots Guard. One of the things about skirmishing is when you get into a skirmishing position where you start firing, you have to make sure that it's a good position. You don't want to start moving your troops around like he's doing, because now all this time that he's moving around is time that he's spending not shooting and getting shot consequently. He's starting to move his cavalry because he knows he has to do something about this sustained Pavi's crossbow fire. And at this point I'm going to ungroup everyone. I'm gonna group my infantry and pikes because I may have to push them forward. And now he has a very nice thin line of archers, but he's taken some casualties, and he is still getting shot at while he's moving. Let's watch a volley. And you can see his armored sergeants have taken some casualties, down from 75 to 60, 59. And I'm just out of range to shoot at these Knights Templars, which would have been great. I am out of range of the infantry, and he is kind of now realizing he needs to pull back his infantry. So it looks like I might be able to make him come to me. And you can see he has 3 cavalry on this side, 2 cavalry on this side, and 1 in the center. Well, I have 4 cavalry on this side, and 2 over here. So he's asking me about, he's telling me about my formation, which is pike line and infantry together. And I'm asking him, have you used it yourself? Because this actually... Well, actually, yes, it would work in real life. The Spanish tercios used it all the time. There were swords. Yeah, so he's telling me this would not work in real life. Well, this was actually used in real life. This was used by the Spanish tercios. The way it was used, though, is that some of the pikes would step off to one side, so they would form columns of pikes and infantry. In columns. One column pikes, one column infantry. And yeah, that's how they fought. That's how the tercios were done. Of course, it's very hard to replicate that in Medieval 2, but this is about as close as you can get, really. And he's getting a little bit closer now, which makes me think he might want to start shooting my cavalry. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna charge all of his cavalry, all of his archers. And my micro is a little bit slow here because I know that this is not like the world's best player, so I'm playing a little bit recklessly. And let's see what he does. Alright, so we're gonna get this unit probably off the field. Let's fall back. And let's fall back. And one of my favorite things to do when I'm charging in like this is to use the tab button to select my next cavalry unit, just so I don't get messed up. Or more like, so I don't lose time. But in this case, I'm just cycle charging, doing whatever. And now we're actually going to go into a thicker line. The thicker line is going to help prevent us, is going to help us move a little bit faster as far as the Pavi's crossbows are concerned. It doesn't look like anyone else is in range. So, you know what? We're gonna be mean. We're gonna make him attack us. This is way more range than you need, but we're gonna do it anyway. We're getting a little bit of lag here. Well, I am also playing on like very high graphics. And you know what? Just to show him that it's not like the ultimate spam of troops, I'm just gonna charge up to him. I'm gonna charge up to him, I'm gonna bring my infantry behind. And I'm just gonna avoid using my pike wall. We're gonna go up to here, and we're gonna bring our cavalry up to here. This is me being very lazy in a battle, by the way. Like just walking infantry, walking pikemen up, or running pikemen up. But you'll see against these players that are not very experienced in multiplayer or not very experienced in pitched battles, it's gonna be just fine. It's gonna be a very sloppy attack also. And this is gonna just let us shoot his cavalry. There's a unit here, might as well go kill it. There's some Knights Templar over here. We can't reach them, but we can reach these guys. And as you can see, I'm being very lazy. And just trying to make him come to me. So let's get our Knights Templar out of here. We're gonna start to need more cavalry on this flank because he has 4 units here. And let's just end it. Wow. I am being so lazy here. And we're actually gonna get a little bit closer with the crossbows. We're gonna get our cavalry out of here.
Only half the enemy force remains.
And we're just gonna try to shoot at any cavalry that comes near us. Rip, Scots Guard. Now we're gonna break the heavy infantry. So, I don't really need to do very much to break a player that doesn't really move very much. So that's why, you know, you get lazy and things like this happen to you where cavalry charges into you. And that can be one of the dangers of playing against players that you know are not very experienced in multiplayer. Or maybe like better said, players that you're not really afraid of in multiplayer. So you start to get lazy. So this is something, you know, you maybe want to avoid doing. So he says he's terrible at maneuvering cav. And I'm not really sure what I can tell you about that. You just have to practice it.
General, the Lord above his kind.
Like he had a unit of armored sergeants. Armored sergeants is basically a unit to try to kill or chase down riding archers. It's not a very good unit for pretty much anything else other than chasing down riding units. So that's one thing you have to think of is, you know, what kind of army is your enemy going to bring?
Our foe has been much humbled.
And that's a GG.
Remember it as the day of our
so you gotta think about what your opponent might bring, you gotta think about your own units, and you just gotta kind of practice it. And so it looks like my Norman Knights got the most kills, 79 kills, or actually Pavi's Crossbows, Pike Militia actually getting 122 kills. So I fought very lazy with them. I didn't use any of the things that I know with Pike Militia, like stopping, pressing backspace, and then attacking, like Chewie taught me. I was very lazy, and that's what happens in these battles. You get really lazy. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.